Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. So, Fabrizio Romano contacted me, which it came out of left field. I was like, is this right? I saw the message, I'm like, what's going on here? And turns out there was a clip flying about, which I have to clarify because I think it's only fair. But he contacted me direct about it. And I'm going to explain exactly what's up. After this as well, though, we've got news to cover. And yeah, there's been one big news that we've heard in the last hour or so. And now we've got some clarity on it as well. It's not as fantastic as it seemed it would be at the very beginning. So anyway, we'll get into all that. But Fabrizio Romano got in touch with me. And I'm not going to reveal the contents of this conversation on Instagram. I will show you just... There you are. Fabrizio Romano. So, yeah, in the DMs, but took a screenshot of a video that was flying about on TikTok, which wasn't my post. It was a video of me. But I saw it, I was like, what? So I went and tried to find it, and I found it, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And it was not too long ago where I mentioned about the PR and about Fabrizio not being as reliable as he once was in terms of exclusive stories, and how now when briefs are put out and they land on his desk, he'll just say it, and for a hefty fee, he will just propagate whatever the clubs will tell him to propagate, basically, right? And he contacted me direct because he didn't like that, and I appreciate that he contacted me direct, fair play, because that's the way to sort things out. And I explained to him where I got that sentiment from. And I told him, I was like, I've not mentioned this publicly, but I'll explain where I got that sentiment from and where I've seen what I've seen. Here it is. So I sent him the information, which I'm about to show you. And then he came back and sent me a press release in regards to that I had not seen. And I was like, okay, fair enough. If it's been clarified in that case, then cool. And my concern in relation to that story has been diminished. But let me show you. This is what... Again, I've not mentioned this publicly, and I'm saying it for the first time, but this was in March of last year in Denmark. So, Copenhagen, right? FC Copenhagen. And Norwegian team Vålerenga had confirmed to Tipsbladet, a Danish outlet, that they had been offered mentions by Fabrizio Romano or his team for a fee, right? And it goes in to explain all sorts... with these sorts of screenshots of what the fee would be to just get an information video out, just to push transfers, right? And there were screenshots, fee prices, all sorts, alongside the company that were the middleman in this. I sent that all to him, and I was like, I've read that you've not commented, so can you comment? And he was like, no, here's the press release. And I read the press release. I was like, okay. No, this is the same press release. The same outlet with the press release saying that the press board have criticised Tipsbladet. This was in September. And in relation to that article, the press board criticised Tipsbladet for reporting that a company behind the sports journalist had contacted clubs with an offer to buy publicity and for the lack of submission. And the press board had ordered us to publish the above announcement. So it was to clarify the press board that the information was incorrect and that he had not been provided with information prior to publication. So he sent me that, and I was like, okay, listen, fair enough. At the end of the day, evidence talks, right? So after he clarified that with me, and I asked him in relation to Chelsea, clubs, briefings, what's the situation? Because we hear some things from you sometimes, and then we hear other things, and it contradicts, right? And he clarified to me that in relation to, for example, I showed him the example of Chelsea being busy, right? Whereas before, we had been told by him a month ago that Chelsea were not going to be busy in this window. And then he clarified to me that, no, this is going to be in relation to outgoings mainly, right? But people hear busy and they think we're signing 5 players. So he said people can understand that how they want to understand that. But he also gave me the notification of, listen, be careful what you say, because if you're accusing me of doing something illegal, then that will be defamation. And I was like, listen, evidence will talk at the end of the day. And I'll play you my voice note to him. I won't play you what he said, because out of respect for him, it's only out of respect to the conversation. But I will show what I've said, right? So I ended it with this.
Hello, Fab. No problem. Listen, no problem. In regards to that, no worries. Because at the end of the day, only you, maybe those close around you, will truly know 100% exactly what the truth is. That's the truth. So on that regard, no worries at all. I won't mention anything like that going forward, and I'll retract. What I will say on the flip is, I know it's not the first time that people have had this idea of yourself and others, not just you, others too, and it's not going to be the last. But all I say is, in order to help yourself in that situation, and everyone else, all the other journalists too, is to be transparent and to illustrate with reason as to what is going on, because fans look to you guys for transparency, for accountability. Therefore, everyone knows what's going on, and they can hold others accountable without you guys getting caught in the crossfire. So I hope that makes sense, and good luck going forward. And overall, keep up the good work, because I know you work hard. I know you do big things, and you've grown to an absolutely outstanding level, so congratulations on that. But as journalists, you must always remember the reason as to why you got into it in the first place. And it's the journalist's responsibility to hold people accountable and say the truth and what needs to be said, so fans know exactly what's going on. Because I can tell you, fans believe that there is briefs and agendas being thrown out just because the club wants certain information out. And it's not just Chelsea, but United, Arsenal, the same, other clubs too. So that's all I ask. That is all I ask. If that
wasn't clear because of the notification.
Because I can tell you, fans believe that there is briefs and agendas being thrown out just because the club wants certain information out. And it's not just Chelsea, but United, Arsenal, the same, other clubs too. So that's all I ask. That is all I ask. And if that's the case, believe me, you'll hear nothing but praise from me. So I hope that makes sense. And keep up the good work.
So there we are. And again, look.
Hello, my friend. This is going to be my last message because...
So we were talking, just to clarify. I'm not gonna go into what he said out of respect for the conversation. But that's all I want, is for journalists to be transparent and to be clear, and not to be just throwing out information that clubs just want them to throw out. Is to genuinely go inside, find what's going on, here's the truth, report it. That's it. Make journalists report again, not journalists brief again. There's a difference between briefing and reporting. That's what I want, and that's what we used to see at quite a grand scale, and I feel like it's only important that I take the opportunity to make that clear. So that's that. And I hope it has a positive effect overall. That's it. So that was Fabrizio. And to clarify, the company that were responsible for getting videos done on behalf and all of that, well, it says in the bottom left, you can't book Fabrizio Romano right now, come back later, basically. You can't do it. Even if you wanted a birthday message, you can't go on there and order anything like you used to be able to. So that's now been disabled. To be honest, I think that's a good thing. So, there we are. That's the Fabrizio stuff. And like I said, yep, evidence will speak for itself. And up until then, no one can really say anything. So I wish him the best of luck. And just be truthful. And just be transparent. And don't brief, but report. That is all I ask. From not just him, as I clarified to him, but Ornstein, Kinsella, Matt Law, everybody. Do your jobs, you know. Make journalism report again. Or make journalists report again. It doesn't quite hit like MAGA, but it's on the same wavelength. Anyway, let's get into transfer news. Patty is an example he reminds me of Fabrizio back in the day. Yeah? Look at the level of detail, and I respect that with Fabrizio it's different because Fabrizio's got to mention, like, I don't know, 1 million clubs, right? I get that. But check this out. Wrong one. There we are. That's closer for you to see. I don't want your eyes to squint. If not, you'll be getting glasses like me. We don't want that. So, as said 10 days ago, Tel currently doesn't want Chelsea. Next up is Garnacho. No strikers being discussed right now. Centre-back not a priority this window. CDM for backup is discussed, but many have rejected initial approach. This was in relation to what he said 10 days ago, saying, understand club directors tried to talk with Tel and Davis this month, but both the players turned down initial approach, saying Chelsea's game time policy is not what they wanted in the long run. Also, inside Bayern, they laughed at Chelsea 70 million euros for Nkunku. So that's the clarity, because today we had heard this coming out of Germany. Mathis Tel is currently not interested in a move to Chelsea as he does not see it as the ideal destination for his development. Tel still loves Bayern but wants to be shown a clear plan. The club will have to follow up their promises with actions in order to keep him. A meeting between the players' camp and the people in charge at Bayern is planned for this week. So we're not getting him. And to be honest, look, this is the case and he's avoiding Chelsea in this regard. I don't blame the kid. I don't blame him. You know, we're seeing what's going on. Players will end up coming in 6 months later, boom, see you later, out of the door. And this is going to be a story that we're talking about very, very soon because we've heard a big story, funnily enough, from Fabrizio. So nice to hear an exclusive. And on top of that, there was clarity given, and we'll get into that very, very shortly. But Patty has come out with more information. And this is what I said that reminds me of what Fabrizio used to do back in the day. I'm about to read this. Tell me it doesn't hit you the same way. But like I said, I understand now with Fabrizio it's different. With so many clubs to report, to dig into the deep, deep detail for everybody is impossible. I understand that. But instead of reporting the same thing over and over and over and over again, where it's like, okay, well, nothing's really changed then, which we hear often, it would be nice to hear developments. So here we go from Patty. Recently, there was a meeting between Maresca and board members to discuss ongoing issues. Sanchez issue discussed, some want change. Maresca had explicitly said to sign striker at least on loan, even if he's above 25. And the sporting directors have noted. I can't believe this is what my club are doing. You know, yeah, no, we're actually talking about a player over 25. Touchy subject. That it's like talking about something that's rated R. But there's more. Number 3, Garnacho fee with United is a big issue. No green light from the owners yet. They are not yet convinced. And 4, the West Ham game is a must-win. Owners have directly suggested. Now, like I said, with Patty, go back and look at his history and go back and, you'll see for yourself just how accurate he has been with so many things in advance. So I respect it. Keep doing what you're doing and keep to this level of detail. Fantastic. Keep it up, mate. But it makes sense as to why the whole Garnacho thing's gone a bit quiet. We've not heard anything the last few days. So maybe it is an issue. And what's going on here with the West Ham game's a must-win? Is that because it's Graham Potter? And if we lose to Graham Potter, then that's not just a joke. That's just flat right embarrassing. Is that what's going on? Maybe. Sanchez issue discussed. Some want change. Mate, all should want change. Who are these some that don't? I'd love to know. And Maresca wants a striker. Don't we all? You know? Even if he's above 25. Tell me about it. So, Chelsea Football Club. Right now, it's a circus. It is a circus. Behind the scenes, it's a circus. But I have to say, if we don't get a result against West Ham, what happens then? Maresca gets sacked? Nah, come on. As I said, I'm not even going to entertain that factor. Because what will happen? They'll get the next guy in. They'll get the next full guy in. if anything, and I said this at the very beginning when Maresca got hired, if Maresca gets sacked, the other two clowns need to be sacked with him. If these owners are serious, they would sack Winstanley and Stewart. But I don't believe they will, and I believe they think they are serious because they are establishing the model, aren't they? You know? In every essence of the word. And what do I mean by that? This is what Tottenham are doing. Read this. This happened today. Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy wants his recruitment to be ahead of the curve. He has seen what Brighton and Brentford have done with a data-led approach, reports the Mail. That sounds familiar. Who said something similar? I forgot the name of that team. They play in blue, don't they? Yeah. Close to home, isn't it? Now, let's wait and see what happens. Here's news. Axel Disasi from Fabrizio. Exclusive. Axel Disasi has agreed on personal terms with Aston Villa. Disasi wants to join Villa despite interest from more clubs around Europe after direct talks with Unai Emery, crucial to get the green light. Deal now up to Chelsea and Villa to reach full agreement. Okay, that sounds fantastic. Yeah, that sounds great. Until I saw this. Fabrice Hawkins saying negotiations are underway between Aston Villa and Chelsea for a loan with no option to buy. Personal terms of Disasi already agreed. Thanks for nothing. Honestly, thanks for nothing. What am I going to do with that? Oh, great, we don't have to pay his salary. Again, like... Listen, okay, look, I will be fair on this point. If it means that in the summer there's a possibility that he gets moved on, then great. But again, it goes back to that point. Look, how long ago did we get him? Disasi, when did he arrive? Not long ago, was it? He's being shipped. 1.5 years in. Bye. You are meant to be one of the main staples in defence. See you later. We are rotating faster than a conveyor belt. Faster than a conveyor belt. At this point, we are moving like a timing belt. Do you know what a timing belt is? If you have a car, or your parents have a car, or if you've got someone that has a car, open the bonnet, right? I was going to say the boot. Unless you've got a Lamborghini, you might find the engine in the back. But open the bonnet, right? Look inside. You'll see a belt alongside the engine, yeah? Next to the engine block, you'll see a belt moving, spinning, really quick when the engine's on. We're moving faster than that. Go and look at how fast that timing belt moves, and then come back and you'll understand what I mean when I say we are moving faster than a timing belt. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Crazy how players are coming in, being shipped. Yep. In, out, in, out, in, out. Okay, now, might have to change our name to Tesco or Sainsbury's. Items coming in and out just like it does in there. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we'll see how he does on loan, I guess, eh? We'll see. Funnily enough, he'll actually be playing Champions League football. Well, how did we get to this? How did we get to Disasi playing Champions League football, man? Oh, man. And we're stuck in Conference League. Now, John Obi Mikel spoke. He was at the Obi-Wan podcast here in Dubai, funnily enough, at the Chelsea Supporters Club. And he said this. I don't know too much about these American owners. They call it football or soccer. Anyone who calls football soccer, I don't want to talk to you. You clearly have no knowledge on the game. No, but Roman was the guy, spending so much money, bringing the best, always making sure we're at the top. Every year we are winning trophies and competing. Even if we didn't win the next year, we have to win 1 or 2 trophies. For us, Roman was the guy. This is a bit bizarre at the end of the day. When we saw him say this, you know, lots of conversations in my meeting with Badad Egbali that I cannot share, but he loves the club and he is also very knowledgeable on football. We were talking about the game and tactics. He met the owners. Apparently everything was fantastic. He was in the box with them. What way is it? Mikel, what's going on? Now, to be fair, what he has said in relation to that quote is correct about Roman and about these sort of owners. He's spot on, right? But I hope the switch up isn't just, one game we've lost and then boom, now everything is like erased. No. It comes with time to be able to know that sort of thing. But you could see his original opinion was exactly what he is saying now. And then he switched it after he met the owners, and now he's switching back, right? So, fair enough. Please, just now speak the truth. Speak the truth and say it for what it is, right? And to be fair to Mikel, he did speak the truth and say it for what it is, because he also mentioned this. This is an exclusive. I've spoken to some people close to Roman. He's not happy. He's still really angry what happened, that he had to sell. He's not happy at all that he's lost his quote-unquote baby. Man. Roman. Yeah, we're not happy too, mate. We're not happy too. I wish we had it another way. I wish we did. I don't know. What can be done now? If... this is hypothetical, by the way. This is just me thinking out loud. If the war in Ukraine can stop, yeah, Trump, do your thing. Get them to resolve it. And then the whole anti-Russia hate stops. And then Roman is no longer barred to the extent that he is now. And then he comes back swooping in with an offer to buy back the club. Here you go, guys. Take your 3 or 4 billion and get out of here. And Roman Abramovich walks right back in. I would take that every day of the week. I would. I would. But obviously, like I said, I'm just thinking out loud. I doubt very, 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 very much that's what's going to happen. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I want to end with a little laugh. Let's have a giggle. This was... This is mad. When you look at this is actually insane. This is the announcement for Anthony. So, this was the official transfer announcement for Anthony, right? As he went over to Real Betis, if I'm not mistaken. What's going on? They had literally a budget, no lie, the budget for this was £1.50. Enough to print out 5 colour pages on A4 paper. £1.50. That was the budget for this announcement. That's horrific. That's absolutely horrific. So we're going to end it there. I hope I gave you a little laugh. And yeah, hope all is clarified. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And we'll see what happens here on out. So, subscribe, notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. And I will catch all of you tomorrow. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.